think because this is the trend I've seen with girls that typically are on OnlyFans or porn or sex work or whatever. It's one of two things: either A, you'll be single and you won't be able to find the guy that you want, or you'll find a guy. What'll happen is he'll make you pay for your decisions. What I've realized is they try to finesse the girl. She's got to buy him gifts. She's paying since she makes money so quickly and so fast, she's paying the bills, etc. And they just like kind of live off her. So I've seen it. I've never seen a girl that does sex work be able to land a guy that's higher status, respectable, etc. because that guy cares about his image. Doesn't want to be made fun of when he...
The unfortunate reality for these girls who do OnlyFans is that they'll probably never meet a high-quality man and be able to settle down with him. Or worse, have children. I think what happens is a catch-22. These girls learn about OnlyFans and find that making money off of it is so easy. So they do it a couple of years. Eventually, they realize that it's catching up to them, and it's not as pretty as they think. However, at that point, they can't really go back to a normal job, especially if they've found real success in OnlyFans. Because really, once a woman starts selling herself for sex, what other option does she have? Guidance counseling? No way. So instead of stopping completely and not have a source of income, they'll continue to milk it and run it to the ground. It's a tragic case.
But I also think that girls, like, I'm making enough money to be happy with this decision. If it's a girl that goes onto OnlyFans and she thinks that she's just gonna go on there and it's not a lot of work and she's just gonna all of a sudden sell a sex tape, that's a decision you have to live with. It might be on the internet. Your kids might see it. Your family might see it. Yeah. So I would not do that unless I was making a certain amount of money. And I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna sell myself for this, this is the repercussions and this is the financial decision, because I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be worrying about where my next paycheck's coming from and killing myself as a nurse for 13 years, like dealing with that. I'd rather just make this decision and be happy with it. And I don't care about the man, the relationship, the baby, the husband. I'm tired. I'm almost 38. Think I want to have a kid right now? I might not. I don't know if
And you're
I
okay
can
with
have
that?
a kid.
That's fine for you?
I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
But I'm okay with it. Like,
She's almost 38, unhappy about her situation, that she doesn't have a man and a kid. Myron definitely showed respect for her though, because at least this chick knows what her reality is and fully accepts it.
don't want that.
So what are you
risk.
gonna do, adopt?
Women give each other terrible advice. Y'all are seeing it right now.
Kid, can I get an adopt?
So fuck, bro.
I'm gonna be the cool aunt. I'm gonna
There's
buy my
always a
niece and nephew cool
solution.
shit, and maybe I'll have a kid one day.
Even after telling the girls she's not gonna have children, this other chick asked her if she's planning to adopt. It's a little bit hilarious how women still don't understand the situation.
Sucked off a fucking basketball team.
How does that make me dumb? My head
Because you didn't even get
my
paid.
brain is crazy.
You did it for free.
I made $100,000 in one day, bro. Shut the fuck up. I don't stop pussy. What the fuck? I fuck who I want to, and I post that shit on OnlyFans. I get me paid. That's not. I don't sell pussy.
Okay, you fuck who you want to, which happens to be everybody, and you should be rich from it.
Massive cope. Perhaps she's not seeing the repercussions yet, but putting this on the internet certainly isn't going to help her in the future. Or hey, you know, maybe she'll never understand whatever she did.
You might as well go fuck every guy in Miami.
I completely and utterly disagree.
Especially if you have an OnlyFans. Make a bag off it. Fuck it.
Let me tell you what, obviously I'm not a female.
I made $1 million.
But if I only $1 million.
No, not only $1 million. I said
Obviously, there's something wrong with this chick.
If any young women are watching, please do not model your lifestyle after her. Thank you very much.
And that's from the Christian man.
Yes, I'm looking out for you young ladies. If you
I'm
ever,
not judging
if
you.
you ever, that's fine. But if you ever want to get married, there's a lot of young girls out there who want to get married someday. If pictures of yourself doing sexual things are all over the internet, your husband and your kids will not appreciate that.
What are your kids gonna think of this?
I think
Father's a
Northwest is doing
judgmental
just
asshole.
fine.
Northwest.
Yeah, she's living her life.
Kanye's.
Yeah, she's doing great with her mom.
I mean, given the option between a mom who has porn on the internet versus one who doesn't have porn on the internet, I would prefer if all of my friends couldn't see my mom fucking other dudes and sucking their dicks.
I still
No
consider
guy wants
myself a
that.
Christian. I still consider myself a Christian. I believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and I'm not a fucking judgmental person like you.
This was taken from the Whatever podcast, a conservative dude going against an OnlyFans chick. Now, I'm not saying that you should be an extreme conservative like this dude, but there's a lesson to be learned here. Women severely lack foresight. I don't know about you, but all the women I've met, besides a few exceptions, are inherently indecisive and just go with the flow. They have no plans or anything for their future. They want to be led and decisions be made for them. And when they're left to their own devices, well, this happens. Chaos.
Ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
10.
Kiko, so okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
10.
A fat fucking 10.
It looks like the girls don't even want to say 10 anymore because they don't want to be put alongside her. This is absolutely hysterical. Can you imagine being this fat and ugly and delusional at the same time? And this is pretty funny because these girls know she's ugly. They know she's fat, but because of societal programming, nobody's gonna tell her that.
I thought you had a man though.
I do, and I'm single until I'm married. Unless you bring in something more than my man can bring me.
What you mean by that?
Everything is negotiable.
So basically, he pay all your bills, he do everything.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
I mean, he sound like a pretty good guy then.
I know he is. It's a shame.
What you mean?
That's the law. I didn't make the rules. I need to make sure I have a monthly allowance. Like,
What?
yes, what you thought?
A monthly allowance.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to discuss that first and foremost, and then we're going to break down the other requirements.
What's the other requirements you talking about?
It's
What
going to
you
be paying for my tuition. It's going to be startup costs associated with my business.
I got to do all those things.
Yes, absolutely, and more. I just got started.
But why you can't pay your own bill?
I would when I don't have to. Like, I have the power. Like, the cards are in my hands.
That's what you really think, huh?
That's what I know. That's why
That's
my
what you
bills are
think.
paid.
That's what- I like to
With
travel.
bigger guys,
What
we
you
ain't
like to
giving
do?
it. I love to travel.
You do?
Yes. So where we going to Dubai?
I think you could travel and get the fuck out my car.
Oh! Jesus, help the man who was blind enough to get duped by this crocodile.
Ask the ladies to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Go ahead.
10.
10.
8.5.
10.
7.
10. Yes. I love this.
Jesus Christ, smoker's cough over here. Okay.
6 before pregnancy and 4 after pregnancy.
Oh. For those of you who rated yourselves a 10, do any of you want to revise your answer? I have some makeup remover.
I literally burst out laughing after watching the plot twist at the end. This man is a savage.
Why don't you start an OnlyFans? You could earn millions in weeks.
These are the type of questions Pokimane gets asked every day.
A lot of people would say that I'm in a great position to capitalize off of having an OnlyFans.
And why wouldn't she, as one of the most highest paid famous female influencers who's already making $2 million a year off Twitch alone, consisting of mostly a male audience. Even Bad Baby claims to have made over $50 million last year on the platform. Yes, us men let that happen. And for all the horny dudes out there praying that this one day does happen, it's not.
It doesn't matter how much money I can make doing it, I'm not gonna do it.
She revealed not only she would never degrade to the lowest form of humility for a little extra cash, but also the insane amount that she's potentially churning down.
I could probably make like somewhere between 1 to 10 mil a month.
And this may seem like a lot to many of us watching, but for her, it's not enough.
Because there's just nothing that I hate more than that torturous feeling of doing things that I don't like to do.
But comment what you guys think her OF would be worth.
Pokimane has that rare ability called foresight. Firstly, she doesn't need quick money. She already has a lot. Secondly, she understands that her reputation as a respectable woman is first and foremost over whatever she'll potentially make by being an OnlyFans model. Kudos to her.
Can you still be a high-value woman if you've been promiscuous in your past? This is a sad question. I think there's so many people in the red pill community that are saying, oh, if you're not a virgin, then you're worthless as a woman, which is ridiculous. You guys probably know I'm not a fan of promiscuity. I think it's damaging to men and women, but I think it's particularly damaging to women. I know some women will be promiscuous when they're younger and then grow up and regret it, and I would say, forgive yourself like you would forgive a friend. There's no point in carrying that around with you, and it's not tied to your worth at all. If you're a human and you make mistakes, then you identify the mistake and you try and fix it. And you try to become the person that you admire. And that's all anybody can do. And if there are people in your life saying something makes you worthless, get rid of those people. Stop listening to the red pill stuff because it's not tied to your worth. Just try to be better every day and try not to repeat things that make you feel bad or that hurt you.
I have to agree with her statement. While we show you clips that make women accountable, their worth as a person shouldn't really be based on their promiscuity. However, I'm not saying a woman's past doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. My point is that a promiscuous woman may not have much worth under the lens of long-term relationships. I think what Michaela failed to do here is she didn't define what worth actually means. It's such a vague statement. For example, I've known many women who have had promiscuous pasts but turned into saints of a mother. They became the most caring, most loving, and most understanding women after they had their child. And that kid grew up to be a healthy and happy person. So it's all contextual, boys. Don't fall into the trap of shaming other people on social media. Not only is it pathetic and beta behavior, but because it's a waste of your time. You can do better, more productive things than commenting on some random chick's TikTok page.
If you had a promiscuous past, a lot of men are going to look at that and say, I'm not going to take the risk. And let me ask you this question.
What risk is that?
Losing half of your shit in 20 years.
So you're correlating past promiscuity with gold digging?
No, that's not what taking half of the shit is.
They've actually done, there's been multiple studies on this. The more premarital sexual partners that you've had, the higher likelihood of divorce, the higher likelihood of infidelity, and the greater likelihood of reporting relationship and marriage dissatisfaction.
From just the woman's side or from a man's side too?
From both, but it's more pronounced in women.
Somehow, that girl is still going to make it the fault of the man.
You're a generation older, but I asked my mom, I'm like, do the hoes get married too? She said, yeah. So at the end of the day, there's really not a lot of consequences for any of it.
See, I think they have to have bought the story to an extent because there's too many of them that aren't comfortable being promiscuous. Like, they'll do it, but they go home, they're miserable. They cry about it. They call their friends. They're mad that guy. Yeah, they're mad the guy didn't call them back. They're expecting that guy to behave like a boyfriend when it was really clearly just a hookup. So they're so upset about it that they're then trying to map out with their friend on the phone, like, why doesn't he like me? Because it's like they bought the story that somehow they were going to be promiscuous and it was going to feel good and they were going to get what they wanted or something beneficial for them out of that situation.
The consequences aren't too obvious, but they're there for those women who are ready to listen. This is why I think what these podcasts do is really important. I think it's bringing to light what some of those consequences are that aren't being talked about.
What are the chances that someone you match with on a dating site crawls into your comments on a video where you're talking about people who match and then ghost? So this video right here, I was talking about two guys who liked me, I liked them back, and then they ghosted. Never even said hello. So the video is about Manny and Albert. Manny was from Ontario, Canada, Albert from New Jersey. They both liked on me, I liked on them, and then they ghosted. Manny comes into my comments, he's like, are you talking about me? I go to his profile, it's Manny from Ontario, Canada. I'm like, I don't know, Manny, did you like on me? I wish I had screenshotted, is that a word? The conversation, because he blocked me after I asked him, well, why did you swipe on me and then leave? All I have is my feed before I refreshed it. If someone blocks you, all their comments disappear. He's like, well, was it me? And I'm like, I don't know, Manny. Was it you? And he was like, well, what site was it on? I'm like, I don't know, Manny. What site are you on? Well, how many Jolenes have you swiped on in the past 48 hours? And then he blocked. And all of this is fine because I really don't care for this kind of drama. It only confirms that I don't belong in this pond. But it further confirms how trying to communicate with somebody isn't in the books for so many people.
I get that she's angry because the guy ghosted her, even mentioning that communication isn't in the books for many people. However, when the guy asked if it was him, she didn't really answer him, therefore confirming her theory that communication really isn't in the books for so many people. These people belong to each other.
They talk about the men in their 50s that are unmarried, and they're like, I dodged that bullet. Like, no, bro, you didn't dodge any bullet. You know, you're not rich enough to be passionate. And now you're 50-something and unmarried with no kids. And you don't even have a yacht. And now you're just...
I find it funny that money's the only thing on her mind when dodging a bullet. Go ahead, girl. Keep shaming men, so eventually they'll find you attractive.
You have 60 seconds on the clock to answer as many questions as possible. Would you rather have average every day or amazing once a month?
Amazing
Just want the money.
You like
No.
Does God exist?
Yes.
Are you smart?
Yes.
Are you a good girl or a bad girl?
I would say I'm a good girl.
Are you a bad girl in the bedroom?
No.
Trump or Biden?
Trump.
Do aliens exist?
No.
Am I cute?
Yeah, you're kind of cute.
Should college be free?
No.
What's your bra size?
32C.
Who should pay on the first date?
The boy, obviously.
Is love real?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Hopefully we fall in love. Most money you've ever spent in one day?
A lot.
Should you test to have a child?
Yes.
Okay, bet. We're gonna have one. All right.
Do you think you can judge a person's character based off of their answers in 60 seconds? I think that's a valuable skill to learn as a man.
60 seconds on the clock. Ready, set, go. With the lights on or off?
Off.
Morning or evening?
Morning.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Ryan Gosling.
Do aliens exist?
Yes.
Foot job or hand job?
Hand job.
What would you rate your 1 to 10?
10.
First place you've ever had?
Bed.
Should the drinking age be 18?
Yes.
Are you a liar?
No.
How big can you take?
10 inches.
Oh my God, do you miss your ex?
No.
Is love real?
Yes.
Rate yourself 1 to 10.
9.
2 countries that start with A.
America.
As a high-value woman, if I respect and love my partner, I'm not putting that pressure. I would say, oh, do you know what? But there are women that actually enable men to feel, process that emotion.
You're right, but you're missing a very vital point of that story. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. Most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them.
This is absolutely true. Grief is a potent drug.
Are you hitting up your exes on Gasparilla?
Absolutely not. I have like 2.
That's pretty impressive.
I've been single for like 3 years.
There's guys watching that have no exes.
In any city, they're lying to you.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
There's plenty of guys out there that are lonely as hell.
That's not true. They go on Tinder and they swipe right on every f***ing ever.
That's what she does. No, I'm saying like girls can like swipe right on more people.
Yeah, and so can guys. And then they just like hook up with any girl they can find.
I wish it was that easy.
Women have no idea how hard it is for a man to navigate the modern dating landscape. But don't tell them that. Keep them thinking you have many, many options. Don't reveal that card. 2 things will happen if they do. They'll either empathize with it, or they'll weaponize it. We all know women aren't great at empathy.
Ancient prehistoric times, you and all the boys out there with some spears and some swords, waiting in the bushes, in the rain, throwing some haymakers over the hill, hoping you can get a deer or a caribou and then get some food for the village. And this might mean 4 days of just being in the bush with no water, no fucking food. Hopefully you find a couple berries, but it's just rough times. And that's never really changed. That's how men have always bonded. That's how we've always been able to do stuff together. But nowadays we are increasingly lonely.
I don't think most women can actually genuinely understand how lonely the majority of men are. Yeah. And you need to truly understand, if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever. You girls will never be lonely. As much as you might be unhappy with the possible suitors, you can at least fuck about and flirt if you feel sad. There are men out here in the world who have genuine loneliness. And I can prove this statistically. Why do you think it's all the men killing themselves compared to the women?
Most men receive their first flowers at their funeral. To end this video, let's listen to a real G, Jordan Peterson.
I should be doing this, but I don't want to. It's hard. It's like, no sympathy for that. You have to do it because otherwise things are going to get worse.
Tate and Peterson couldn't be more different, but they're speaking about the same thing. You have to do things regardless of how you feel. Why? Because your life will be in ruins if you navigate through it by gut feel. Anyway, that's all we have for you today, boys. I hope you learned something. Keep the grind.